Okay, let's cut to the chase. Gholdengo. Why is Gholdengo such an amazing Pokemon when insane Pokemon like Chi-Yu and Roaring Moon are running around? Chi-Yu's signature ability lowers your special defense. It can OHKO you back. It resists both of your offenses. Why is it so good? It's one of the top Pokemon right now. Well, it's a few things. You could look at its stats and say, hey, that's pretty good, but not so insane to justify its usage, especially when you look at the raw stats of Pokemon like Iron Moth, which does the same thing as Chi-Yu. It's an insane mon with 135 special attack. To find the answer, you have to dig a little deeper. Let's look at its typing. Ghost and Steel. An incredible defensive typing. Immune to fighting, which Steel is weak to. It's immune to normal. It's really good. This typing has only ever been seen before on Aegislash, which was banned to Ubers because it was so good in Gen 6, before it was nerfed. Unlike Aegislash, though, it doesn't have the same raw defensive stats, so obviously it's worse defensively, right? No. Game Freak gave it Recover, and we all know a reliable recovery move makes all the difference, unless your name is Ferrothorn. Now let's look at the star of the show, its ability. Good as gold. This ability is a defensive Pokemon's dream. It makes it immune to every single status move in the game. It cannot be worn down by Burn. It's immune to Toxic because of its Steel typing already. It can't be cheesed by Thunder Wave. And guess what else it blocks? Defog. So basically what we've learned is it's the perfect Pokemon for blocking Rapid Spin and Defog. And with Pokemon like Glamora and Gholdengo running around, it's a perfect synergy to have a mon on your team that can also block hazard removal and threaten the same Pokemon back on the opposing teams. But that's not all. Let's take a minute and look back at its stats. If you look here, it's got an extremely high 133 special attack, with a signature move called Make It Rain, which is a base 120 power move with 100 accuracy. No drawbacks, really. It does lower the user's special attack by one stage, though, but this mon is powerful enough to throw one off at -1. Then you can look at its coverage. It's got Thunderbolt. It threatens Gyarados, stuff like that, and Dondozo. It's got Power Gem for Chi-Yu. It's got coverage for it, and as well as Iron Moth. It's got Psyshock as well for Iron Moth. It's got Focus Blast, and it's got Dazzling Gleam. So not only is it great defensively, it's also amazing offensively. And as a side note, we all know Fairy-type moves are extremely spammable in this meta. Although a lot of Pokemon do resist it in this meta, like Corviknight and so on. But I'm not finished. It also has Nasty Plot to threaten a full sweep of your team with a substitute up. It's at a perfect speed tier where it can outspeed big threats like Chien-Pao and Dragapult when Scarfed. Which means you always have to fear it being Scarfed because it's always a viable set. It also has the move Trick, coincidentally, which perfectly works with Scarf, we all know that. And because of its high power and amazing and great defenses, it's not the easiest to revenge kill, which means it can still take a hit and even threaten you back with a 2-hit KO. So it's a great mon offensively and defensively. Can it do anything else? Yes. In fact, it can be an amazing support Pokemon with access to Reflect, Light Screen, Memento, and Thunder Wave. Just like Grimmsnarl, but Grimmsnarl doesn't get any good recovery, so it's limited in how often it can come in and set up screens, which means this Pokemon can come in, set up screens, then come out for a setup sweeper, and then come back in later to do the same thing because of Recover. So the real question is, what can it not do? Remind you of a certain Pokemon?